Hello, Martin Bennedik here for chesspuzzle.net. Today I'm going to show you the new content update for Puzzle Academy, which includes the first endgame skills. Endgame training is a new feature. We start with the most simple of endgames. The opponent only has the king, and you've got some material and you've got to deliver checkmate. So you can practice checkmating with the queen, the rook, and with two bishops. These are not puzzles. There are many different ways to win these endgames, but nevertheless it's very good practice. In the fundamental sections, these checkmates are for beginners, and in new endgame course that's starting with this content update, we start with checkmating with bishop and knight. This endgame is much more difficult than the other fundamental checkmates, and I've split this into 3 different levels. So in the first level, the king is already in the right corner. So that's the corner where the bishop can checkmate. So if you have a white squared bishop, you have to deliver checkmate in a corner with a white square. So in this case A8 or H1. In the second level, the opponent's king is already on the edge or in the wrong corner, and you have to drive the king to the other corner. And in the third level, basically the pieces are randomly placed, like in this example, and you have to organize your pieces, drive the opponent's king to the edge, and then to the right corner and deliver checkmate. So I'm going to show you this example. It's probably gonna take forever, so I'll cut the video accordingly. Okay, so the king is here, but close to the edge. We have to drive it to H8 or to A1 to deliver checkmate, but at the moment the king has too many squares where it can escape to. So if it goes to C6 on the next move, I don't see how we can stop it at the moment. And also it's attacking our bishop, so okay, let's play king f6 to protect the bishop. Aha, now it's going to e8, so it is on the edge, which is good. Okay, we can't go here because of stalemate, so we probably bring our knight now into the game, but okay, if we go with the knight here or here, it's also stalemate. Whew, okay, we needed 35 moves, and it also says that the quickest way was 27 moves. So you see, this isn't easy at all, so it's very good to practice this. And yeah, if you just look at an endgame book and it shows you with one example how to do it, okay, I guarantee you I did that, and then the pieces are somewhat differently, and it's not easy. So it's very good to practice this. And you can now go to the solution view. And yeah, here is something new. First of all, you see that it displays the solution, and of course there's many different solutions, so it can't display all of the solutions. In this case, it would be thousands or even millions of variations. That just wouldn't be possible. And so it shows you the quickest solution, the quickest possible solution, and you can play through that. And it will also show you the moves that you played. So that's a new feature for the solution view, which is also enabled for any of the normal puzzles, not just for endgame training. So if you played a different move, it will show this to you. So here, in this case, it's many moves. So it starts actually with a different move by black in this case. So black can also play many different moves, and you can also replay your moves. And because there's now 3 different variations that are shown, first of all, the solution, then your own moves, and also at the bottom here you can see the game continuation. So here in this position, black resigned, and you see this is actually a grandmaster playing this, and the opponent is an international master, and they didn't stop playing. They played this to mate, because it's not easy at all. Even the grandmasters have to show that they can deliver this checkmate. Yeah, and if you have little time, it's even more difficult. So you can turn on the timer in the settings, and then you see how long it takes you to deliver checkmate. So yeah, for example, I took a couple minutes to deliver checkmate, so I probably wouldn't be able to do this in a blitz game without increment at least. So yeah, it's a very good practice. Okay. Now let's continue with the additional Academy content that's new in this content update. So there are additional new skills. So there's a new skill called clearance for promotion, and here's an example. I can show you this example. So clearance for promotion, it means, okay, we have a pawn here on the 2nd rank, which we could promote if it weren't for the rook, which is in the way. So if we move the rook away, we can promote the pawn on the next move. So that's called clearance. We move one piece out of the way, so another piece can make a certain move. And in this case, here we see that also white has a pawn on the 7th rank, which can also promote on the next move. So if we just move the rook, say, to g1, then white will actually get the queen first, and we also get a queen, and that position is probably a draw. But what we can do, and which is often the case in these puzzles, we can clear and also sacrifice our rook with check here on a1, and then the king has to take. If the king moves away, we can just take the pawn, or we can queen first. And now we can promote to a queen with check and with tempo, and now we've won the puzzle. And yeah, now we actually also control this square. We can move there on the next move, or we can try to move the king here, and we win the game. Okay, so that's clearance for promotion, and the first level is included in this update, and there will be additional levels in the next month. So this is a motive that actually happens very often, and there's going to be more difficult puzzles with the same motive as well. Okay, then there's in the defending course, there's a new skill, Stalemate. So there was already some stalemate puzzles in that course, which were Desperado puzzles. And Desperado was where you sacrifice a piece, and there's other ways to achieve stalemate, and you can practice these here with this stalemate skill. So here's a nice example from a pawn endgame. and you see white's attacking our pawn here on f4. So now if we just try to keep defending the pawn with our king here on g5, you see there's no other square where we can defend this pawn. So this square is covered by the pawn and this square is covered by the king. So, and if we just play h4, which is our only move, which still keeps this pawn defended, then white can just play king e5, still attack this pawn, and then we will lose this pawn and lose the game. But we can move our king to h4, and now if white takes this pawn, we are actually stalemated. And this is like an important trick, which actually happens quite frequently in pawn endgames, especially if the pawns are all on the same side, that you can make this move with your king to the edge, and then if the opponent takes the pawn, it's stalemate. So there's many other stalemate puzzles that you can practice with this skill. And yeah, level 1 is included in this update, and here also there's going to be a level 2 next month or in one of the next updates. Okay, then last month I've started an attacking course, and in the attacking course, the first skill which we started with last month's update was weak back rank, and there we could basically win material because of a back rank mate, which could happen in some variations. And here we continue this motive of combining attacks against pieces and against the king with the double attack. So double attack, in this case we mean that we are threatening a piece and we are also threatening checkmate at the same time, and the opponent can't defend against both of these threats with one move. And yeah, this happens very frequently with queen moves. But here I've selected a very nice example where this even happens with a pawn move, which is quite rare, but yeah. So here black can win with the pawn move f5, which is a double attack, because we are threatening the knight on g4 as well as threatening checkmate with f4. So that's a double attack with the pawn. So white played f3 to make an escape square for the king, but now we can just take here and win. So yeah, double attacks happen very frequently, and yeah, if you manage to solve the master the fork skills and master the checkmate skills, then you can unlock this and practice a lot of double attacks. Okay. These were the new skills that I've added, and also there's a couple new levels added to existing skills. So for the intermediate move skill, there's now level 5, so this is already 6 move puzzles. These can be very difficult. I've added here one nice example to the blog post. I'm not going to show this to you. You can try to solve it yourself if you click the diagram here in this blog post. And then in the checkmate patterns course, I've added Morphy's mate level 3. So here's a nice example where you can deliver a checkmate with the typical sacrifice of the knight here, knight g3 check. And white has to take. If the white king moves to e3, then we can checkmate immediately with queen e3, but now we take here on g3 and open the h file, and the king has to go to g1, and now it's made with queen e3. And if we go to the solution view, we can actually see here that Morphy's mate is visualized. Usually it's a bishop, but which delivers checkmate, and rook, which is preventing the escape of the king. But here, instead of a bishop, we have a queen, which is only operating on the diagonal, exactly like a bishop. So that's also Morphy's mate. And then finally, there's a new level 5 in clearance for checkmate in the checkmate combinations course. And yeah, these are all the skills here. In this image, you can again see all the new skills and levels that were added with this update. I'm still working on these endgame training positions. There are many more interesting endgames that I want to include in this endgame training. I'm still working on that, but yeah, I hope to have another site update soon, which will include more examples of this endgame training. And yeah, I hope to make another video about that as well soon. Stay tuned.